Hi, this is Chris at the Wandering Bull. Today we're going to talk about making scalp feathers like this. These are hand painted eagle feathers with some red fluffs from a chicken, dyed red, some beaded cuffs, and the medicine wheel at the top. So, relatively simple project. You got two feathers, and I want to match them up lengthwise. I want my dark tips to match. I don't want it to be similar to that. So line them up, I like that. And the quill is hollow for about an inch, inch and a half. So my beaded tubes slide about to that height. Make sure they're both symmetrical. I like that. So what I'm going to do is cut the quill right where the tube sits on that feather. You don't need to use beaded tubes. You can wrap that in with leather. You could peyote stitch it yourself. It's just, I'm showing you the example on how to construct it, and then hopefully you can use some different feathers, some different beadwork. Use your imagination and move forward with this project. So I'm happy with that. I'm going to snip the end. I want those to sit like that. So, and what I'm using is nice thin steel wire. You could use coat hanger, the hook on the top, snip it off, and use that. That works as well. So I'm going to, and I can show you where that quill is hollow. So it goes about that far. So I'm like inch and a half, 2 inches where that quill is hollow on that feather. Check this one. That is as well. So what I'm going to do is fill these, the hollow space with hot glue, and then insert the wire. But first I'm going to put some glue to hold those tubes from sliding around. So I'm going to back them back out. Put a dab of hot glue. I like using hot glue in this application. It dries quickly, so you have to move fast, but if you use another form of glue that takes several hours to dry, your project's going to take much longer. So I'm going to run just a bead of glue right down the back on both. Slide my beadwork on that. Give it a little twist right to the end. Pull them back over. So I like the way that sets up now. I'm going to take my wire, bend that guy in half. I'm going to fill the void in that quill, which is hollow for that inch and a half, 2 inches. I'm going to add some more glue in there. This is where you got to work hard quickly to get that end result. Line these feathers up nicely. So that wire is flexible to a certain degree, and I can bend these guys to get them the way I want. I want them to sit like that. I still have some a void in there. I put a little more glue in that spot. So I'm happy with that. So to add the fluffs, it's a chicken fluff dyed red, and I don't want it that big. But on the back of these feathers is another little feather. I'm going to pull that guy off, and I'm not going to cut like this right across the whole feather. I'm just going to snip the quill and then I don't have a pile of fluff everywhere. And that guy's gonna sit there. So I want to get a feather that's gonna match in length. And once again, I'm just gonna snip the quill and not cut the whole feather. I got less of a mess. Those two will work fine. I'm gonna pull that feather off the back. So I'm gonna discard these two pieces. Move those to the side. And now I'm gonna apply just a little bead of hot glue down the quill, and then I'm gonna push the feather into it. You could also take that quill and slide it under your beadwork. It would hold it in place just as well. So I'm gonna put, a 1/2 inch to 1 inch of hot glue down each feather. Do it neatly, I don't want glue all over the feather. And as I said, I'm gonna take it and just push it in, and then push the fluff into the glue. I don't want to see glue on the top. So there's that bottom. Slide it up. So these little guys I pulled off the back of those feathers are perfect for the tips. Not all of them are symmetrical, so sometimes you got to go through lots of feathers to find a little bit of the tips. You can put leather spots on the end, a whole bunch of metal sequins. So here I'm going to put just a spot on each end. And once again, take that and push it right into the glue. I don't want to see glue on the surface. And they're roughly the same length and width, so that works out nicely. So now for the tie. I'm using these painted medicine wheels and a piece of leather. I think this is a perfect length. So I'm going to tie the leather that I have, and it's probably 15-16 inches long. Tie it tight on the back. Now I'm going to slide one of these ends between the two beaded tubes. Flip that guy over. Tie another knot. Tie that back in a square knot, give it a little tug. So, there's a scalp feather. Using turkey feathers, the beaded tubes, a medicine wheel. You don't need to use the beaded tubes or the medicine wheel. You can peyote stitch it, you can leather wrap it. Be creative. WanderingBull.com. Check us out on Facebook, Instagram. If you have any questions, you can certainly give us a call at 1-800-430-2855. Thanks for watching.